Nick, June is no more. Alfred ain't yours. So I'm gonna go ahead on and let you have this other chick so you can stop thinking about her. Let's get to it. Smacking, cracking, and watching. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe. The Handmaid's Tale Season 2, Episode number 5. This episode is called Seeds. Make sure y'all hit subscribe. I appreciate you. Oh, man, Hulu. Y'all got us stressed out. Much like Alfred, except we don't got all that stress, but we got our own level of stress. Calling her musty? How dare you? What you're not going to do is say, I need some deodorant. You got a lot of nerve. Antiperspirant yourself. Burning letters, spotting, not good. Any form of blood is so horrific. When it's horrifying when you're pregnant, you're with child. That's the one thing you just do not want to see. You don't want to see any red for 9 months. Scary. It puts you in a horrible mindset. And she's got enough stress on her back as is. If she has a baby, she dead. If she has this baby earlier and she miscarried, she's dead. What are we looking at? Questioning gender. Like I said, man, she's going from spotting to just being soiled in those boxer drawers. It's 132 pounds stress. Now look, y'all want to feed her like she's cattle. You want her to be presented as if she's a trophy, but at the same time you want her not to be robotic. What do y'all want? Some really great shots, y'all. The tea being poured, the blood on the tissue, June in that bloody bath water, and her face is just like, I don't know, is she content with what's going on? Her face is just so emotionless, like she has no expressions. Like, is she done? Is she gonna hurt herself? Is she gonna harm someone else? That very creepy ceremony, that union, not private. That's something you're supposed to be amongst family and friends, your loved ones, or it's just very intimate between you and your spouse, you and your husband, you and your wife, you and your whoever you marrying, you and yourself, whoever. It's so rude. It's so. Where's the love in that? Where's the love in that union? All the applauding, the applauses, and as soon as she begins to clap, it's silent. Whoa! Toned out. The colors, the grays, the reds, the blues, whites, black. Color plays a huge role, man. And a lot of shows do that. And I like, me personally, that's what I like to see. Oh, one-eyed girl, I don't know her name, but when she made that wish, Rita coming through with the horchata, and I'm like, dang, y'all got horchata. Y'all don't have rice, but you still got horchata, right? Cinnamon milk. Okay, girl. Living quarters. Living quarters, we're talking about Bora, and that's the only thing that's been referenced to beauty that I've seen this entire season. The gas mask, man, just putting us in that horrible. It feels like an omen or something every time we see that overseer vibe on a horse. You see that all blacked out person with the gas mask on a horse riding towards you to beat someone on the ground. They're already on the ground. Why do you need to strike them? That's kind of messed up. If you did that to an animal, they'd be saying animal cruelty. You're doing that to a person. What do you say? They're digging for their lives at this point, man. The crazy conditions, the silence. Silence is something in your friendship. Silence is deadly. In a relationship, it's done if it gets silenced. When in workplace, you feel like you want to quit, you want to give up, you dread going in to clock in every day. And in this situation, you got them working in the fields in freaking silence. It's like, okay, chain gang. That's what you're doing. That's exactly what they're doing out there. Now Serena, she runs into her homegirl, and her homegirl's like, yo, man, you know, yours was so intimate. Mine was so overwhelming. The shading and all. Green sweaters got shade. You know how, like, you're looking for a new house or you're looking for an apartment. I remember in college when I was looking for apartments, anytime someone would say quaint, cozy, or intimate, it just means small. It's just a bunch of words to reference to small, and that's basically what they were saying to her, like, oh girl, yours was little, mine was so overwhelming, it's so spacious, it was so, you know what I mean, like just the disrespect in words alone, crazy. The commander, what they really chose his character as far as the actor who's portraying him perfect, because his face, that beard, it is scary looking man. He referred to her as Alfred though in the beginning, and Aunt Lydia almost slapped him with saying the handmaid is fine. It's like she's breaking, like she knows something's up. How about all of that? You put her boo and the man who raped her in the same scene and holding his, behind his back, playing with the rosary or whatever, a cross, whatever that was in his hand. You force her to see someone who she cares about be with another woman. That's low, that's dirty, and that's that mind efferization. And wow, this show's crazy, man. Now let's get into some let's dive in a little bit more. What's happened this episode? We had a wedding. We had a wedding amongst a group of sick, enslaved, on their deathbed women, and it reminded me of how it's not legal, but it's like jumping the broom if we're gonna go there. Because Hulu, they got it's their play on slavery. Is from what I understand. You drop a comment below if you feel any different. But this Handmaid's Tale is a play on slavery and women's rights and all that stuff. Now, an enslaved group of brown folks, the way that they were able to be one, marry, commit to each other, would be to jump over the broom, signifying we're going to be together. And unfortunately, they were torn away sometime shortly after, and you never see them again, or for whatever reason. It was just it was a way for them to say, hey, I love you, this is the life we live, but I care about you and I want to be with you. Now, for those two women to get together, that was kind of I didn't see it coming. I didn't see that part coming, because I guess my mind was like, okay, they're prisoners. Why would they want to still be with each other? How can you find love in that dirty, nasty environment? How could you still care for someone amongst, the rats? Like, you're treated like a rat in yeah, but they did. Hey, if they could get married, it ain't no reason somebody out there who's single, y'all better look. Everybody entitled to love. Y'all see me looking just like this picture right here. Same hat. This is a show about the oppressed that leaves us all depressed. And I'm just every time I watch it, I'm just like, oh my goodness. What will they think of next? Like, and the aunts are trash. What if Serena gets the baby after it's delivered and she runs off with June? Does Lydia have a kid out in the real world? Will Nick get caught up? Are you feeling the whole misquoting of the Bible throughout this series? We have all heard of the rose that grew from the concrete, and how can you make a wish? How can you make a wish in the midst of all that effery, just foolery, just death, just how can you still have a dream? How can you still think positive and wish when you're living in, it's not even living, you're just there. You're essentially dressing up for the slaughter, like Emily said. Emily said it best. The homegirl is a stone cold killer. She tainted those pills last episode. This episode, we saw Kit and Fiona married. Let's talk about it. How can you still unite? I mentioned it earlier. How can you still unite knowing that you'll never be able to be happy together? You're not newlyweds right after that. You're not gonna have a long, prosperous life together. You're not gonna make dinner for each other, and when they come home, there will be no celebrated anniversaries. How can you still love each other in the midst of that? You're being blessed by this rabbi. You still have that hater. Emily was like a dang on usher at a wedding. You know your ushers, and you have your homegirls, and you say, look, if Sheila comes, y'all need to drop kick her. Sheila cannot enter between those church doors. She will not come to this wedding. No, sir, no, ma'am. And Emily was like, girl, come on. We're going downstairs. Let me tell you something. They are dressing us up for the slaughter, and you better be woke, because if not, I will hit you with my kit and then you will get peeled, okay? And homegirl is so crazy. She's like, Cal's gonna get married. It was cool though. Two people, very different backgrounds, coming together and loving each other. Ain't that beautiful? Come on now. And you see June missing Nick and her frustration of it all. Who else did we see? We saw Emily getting torn from her boo at the airport. Was at the airport when they went off. She sent them off, and the rules changed, as they always do. The finish line will always forever be changed as soon as you get there. Stay woke message. This show is off the chain, man. How old is Nick's bride? Because she looks super young. How crazy is it for you not to be able to see her until they basically unveil her in front of you, and you're like, oh snap, this is who it is. We saw some, you know, white, black, older, younger. God, that's horrific. That's scary. That's really scary. There was a death this episode. There was a near-death situation this episode. We had a funeral, and there was a second chance. They don't own you or what you can become. I'm going to get you out of here. So she's going to run again. Will Nick help her? How will she do this time? Second time around, right? That's what we're looking at. Hulu. See y'all episode 6. Drop your comments below, please. Make sure you hit subscribe. I appreciate you all. Until next time. Peace.